YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building for another Last Cloudia news and information video. We do have the in-game notice for everything that we reviewed and went over in the newsletter yesterday. We now have some confirmation on a couple of things that I saw just glancing over this when I woke up this morning, so I wanted to make a quick video and stick around towards the end. We're going to have a couple nice tidbits of Datamined info on some of the new event gear that's coming with us, courtesy of Captain Jabberwock himself. But let's just go through here. We're getting this typical maintenance notice. We can see the two new unit icons and the arc. Notice the 2 and 1. I don't think there's anything else to cover except looking right here in regards to that. We do have a dual hero banner coming. Now, I did see some people, or not some, I saw one person comment that they hope that the banners are separate so that they can gear their summons towards one specific hero, and I don't know. I guess it is a preference thing. I like that there is a chance I can snag up 3 of the new things all in one spot. It's pretty much more bang for my buck, right? More bang for my free to play crystals. They do have an actual very nice step up as usual, right? It's only 1,300 paid crystals to do the first 3 steps, and it's probably it equals out to a 10 spin, and then the 4th step is a free 10 spin itself, and you get a ton of souls for the new units that are coming as well. It's very worth it if you have about $10 to $15 to spare. I will not be purchasing, even though I am extremely happy with the way Adis, or Idis, I need to start calling him Idis. I now have heard like 2 other people call them that. I've seen Idis doing some great things, and I do want to support them, but as a non-whale, I have to be a bit frugal with where I spend, and at the moment, currently, I'd rather spend my currency on things like big celebrations, New Year's, game anniversaries, things like that. We do have the half-year anniversary coming up at some point, which they typically do a celebration for, since Global released during the halfway mark to the JP's year anniversary, so they'll likely do something for that. That's when I'd like to save up a little cash reserve to spend on those really high-value packs that they give out, those guaranteed UR, things of that nature. I would definitely recommend dropping some cash if you want to on this, because this little step up here is a very good deal. But I am very excited that this is a dual banner, and both units, I think I slept on the mage a bit. I was talking to the guys off camera on Discord, and they were explaining some of the features that she has. It's going to be pretty insane. I think she's going to be pretty nutty once we get her in game, start to get to testing her out in certain areas. So I think either of them are a great pickup. Would I suggest summoning if you are completely free to play? I mean, the fact that they're both on the same banner is tempting, right? Because like I said, you have the potential to get new things more so than not, because they're all included on one banner. And they're both extremely good. Baron being a neutral type attacker, and looks like he's going to be one of the hardest hitting neutral type attackers in the game at the moment. That makes him very useful if you're struggling to beat tower. And as far as this goes, could she be the Earth Amelia? That's the question. I don't know. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm not feeling the must summon from either of these two, especially the arc. The arc is pretty much, do you have Ruto? Now you have the best arc for Ruto. If not, you're never really going to use this arc, sadly. I would say this is a skip for the majority of players if you've already got a nice roster. You've got a lot to work on already. These are not priority characters. They're really good. They're going to be great additions if you do get them, but they're not must-haves in my opinion. Moving on, we do have Degrogue returning. Funny enough, I'm going to be releasing a showcase of Ivaz's Degrogue probably today at some point. I did film it. I want to post it up. And that was before I even knew she was returning, so perfect timing. She is a monster, or a monstrous, however you want to term it. She is incredible. Her arc is on the SSR, right? These are both SSR arcs, so they're going to be in the general pool. No need to really try and chase them on the banner. They're going to be on rate up, so Hopefully you get him if you really want him here. But yeah, Degrogue's coming back pretty quickly, right? We only saw her about a month ago, but it's pretty nicely timed. Makes sense. If you had to pick, right, let's say you are wanting if you want all 3 of these units, obviously I would say summon here because you have the potential to get more than right here. If you want Degrogue that badly, good news, her banner's coming back. She's another one of those like really great additions to your account, but definitely not a necessity, not something that's going to absolutely change your experience. This is also kind of a skip for me. If you are looking to maximize, right? If you really want a great plan, a savings plan, a lot of people already know this, but save for either the big celebrations or the collabs, either when they do reruns or when a new collab comes around. Those collabs tend to offer some of the best new things in the game, some of the best units, some of the best arcs and new skills that are collab limited, so you only have that opportunity to snag them up. That's the recommendation. These guys being DOH units, they will come back, just like we're seeing Degrogue has now come back. Will I throw a couple summons? I might. I really would like a really strong dark attacker, and she fills that role beautifully. We've also got the return of Zouglas, if you noticed, right here. So they're bringing back all the 4 Lords of Ruin. How appropriate. I do like that, right? I think it makes a lot of sense. However, he didn't get a buff, right? This would have been a good opportunity to give Zouglas a buff in order to entice you to summon on his banner, but he's very lackluster in today's meta and today's game, so I don't see a reason to summon him for him at all. If anything, I would say the appeal here is that Loud Mechia is on rate up. And I'm looking at you, Ivos, because if you don't have this, you can't actually take on the new endgame content, Lugan's Tower. So you need this arc, and here is just an extra chance to get it because it is on rate up. But this is a super skip for new players that are looking for the best way to spend their crystals at the moment. Here is the event update, right? 4 Lords attack. We saw what we need to do here. You defeat the 4 Lords of Ruin and you get the event limited equipment. There are 4 pieces of event limited equipment. Each one is like a specific equipment from each one of the 4 Lords. You can enhance the equipment. We're getting the return of Fey Ore and Alchemagite, so probably you clear it once, you get the equipment, then you go on to clear it multiple times again, and you're going to accumulate these right here. Enhancing the trait will increase the stats and then add a trait to that equipment at plus 30, right? So it's extremely important to take advantage of this and any type of limited alchemy enhancing for equipment when it rolls around, because you get extra traits on the weapons that can totally transform them and make them really viable, really usable. And it's typically very easy to do. You just gather these materials and it's a one-time purchase, right? There's not all this extreme expense to upgrade these event equipment like your traditional equipment enhancing in the alchemy tab. This is exciting. Get unit souls for each of the 4 Lords of Ruin. So if you do have Degrogue or Zouglas, if you want to build him out, we can somehow farm souls for them in this event. There's a chance for the Lords of Ruin you defeat to drop unit souls. The higher the difficulty, the greater the chance for unit souls to drop. This might be a great place to farm. Usually we don't have something like this unless it's a collab event where they offer the means to farm upgrade material for said characters, but we'll see the rate, right? It might be atrocious. It might be like the Del Mordo event, which is negligible how many souls you could really realistically get from that event, but it's better than nothing, and hopefully it is pretty generous. We will see. But the higher the difficulty, the greater the chance, like I said. Additionally, Nightmare difficulty quests can also be played in multiplayer, so they are integrating multiplayer into this event. I do like to see that. Playing a quest in multiplayer will not award event points, just like we just saw, but unit souls for the Lord of Ruins you will defeat will always drop. Oh, wow. So this is sounding pretty lucrative. This is sounding very lucrative. Ooh, I like this. I like this. A couple of you guys did correct me that we've had dual banners in the past. So if we've had an event like this, let me know. But as far as I've seen, this sounds new and wonderful. This is the kind of stuff, okay? These are the kind of features. We'll see how that drop rate actually looks in game. But if there is an actual feasible way to farm up these units free to play with the event, that's something that does entice me to drop a couple dollars, do the step up just to support ATIS, regardless of what I get, because this is super generous. That's the kind of stuff that makes me want to spend money. So I like to see that. I like to see that. So look at this. We actually do have the details. Normal, chance for 1. In Nightmare, chance for 3. And in Nightmare Multiplayer, always 1. So I guess it will depend on the difficulty of these events. But still, I mean, you got to understand, to get a character to 4-star and 80 SC, it's a ridiculous amount of souls. It's close to 2,000 or maybe 1,500. It's somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000 souls that you have to farm up to completely really max out the character. So, I mean, that's a shite ton of runs if we're only getting 1 soul per run. So if it's way too difficult, if we can't clear these bosses in like sub 5 seconds, this may not be a crazy grind that lets you max out these characters during this event, but it's better than we've ever seen before, if I'm not mistaken. So still, I'm very excited to see how it looks in game. We have the event units, right? Baran, Rabala, Zouglas, and Degrogue give you those bonus points in events, EXP, and AP. We also have Ruto given a bit less, and Master Thief Robin, Prince Gorm, Ice Princess Sevia, Hobgobble, and Pakal also give you a couple bonuses. Interesting enough. And then here we go, Redux event. We're getting the Zouglas event back. Deimos did tell me that the sword you get has existed in the game. It's been here since this first came around, but it is the best weapon for Ruto himself because it increases guard chance. So very, very excited to grab that. I'll get to see the backstory of Zouglas, right? The story follows Zouglas as he fights in the name of the god of ruin, Laugzus, against rebels in the various lands of Granzelia. This will be interesting to see the corrupted path that Ruto walks. Get a lot of EXP, AP, and event points on hard difficulty. That just runs through the bonuses, so you can check that out. Tower of Trials is returning, everybody. So we're getting our May Tower of Trials. It's weird because the last Tower of Trials ran so far into May that it felt like, to me, we already had the May Tower of Trials, but you got to remember it returns at the end of each month. So we now have it again returning, and it will run probably into June. Yeah, June 9th is when it goes away. So it'll be here for quite a while. I don't know if I'll try and do this earlier than last time. Last time I waited till the last possible day, but I might try to get this done and out of the way quicker this time, especially since we don't have as much going on. And we've also got promo updates. 3 million download worldwide is getting an extra quest. I think that's what's giving us the 1,500 crystals from that. Training promotions, we saw 1.5 times more souls from your towers, and your grand ability gate is coming back. In this quest, ability crystals and crystal clusters have a high rate drop. Like I said, this is where you can get a rainbow cluster guaranteed every time you clear it. You do it 3 times a day. You have a chance at 2. You're guaranteed 1, so you have a chance at 1 to 2 rainbow clusters per clear. Very important to do these when they come around for that reason. And don't forget, pick up your free shop packs that give you 30 of each soul, 30 of each character's souls, and just a couple little extra materials for you to use. Various improvements, right? This is where they tell us the 2 new tour areas have been added. So funny timing it all was for me to make the tour guide, bring it up. They released the announcement talking about new tours. So kind of funny to me right there. And the amount of AP gained for tours has been increased. So look at this. From Brana Plains, we're going from 1 to 4. Dara Desert, 5 is staying at 5. Garajia Mountains is going from 1 to 8. And Ice Caverns are going from 1 to 10. That's extremely nice. That is very, very nice. And we also got clarification on the trade shop, the friend point shop, and the adjustments made there. It looks like they're cutting everything by either a half or by 75% in cost, right? So your 2-star are going from 200 to 50, 3-star 1,000 to 250, 4-star 3,500 to 1,000. 6-star is staying at that heavy 40,000, which is probably the best item to purchase, and it's staying at 1 stock. But what they are changing, which could be a good or bad thing, is that they're adjusting the stock reset cycle for 5-star enhancement and 6-star enhancement materials. So we're not getting any cheaper materials here, but we can purchase it on more than a once per month basis. So that'll be nice if you can accumulate the friend points up quick enough. Another reason why it is in your best interest to use your crystals, get 100 friend slots. They have mentioned increasing the amount of friend slots in the future. Doesn't look like we're getting that in this update here, but we could see it maybe moving forward in a couple months towards the end of the year. So make sure, get your friend points, be accumulating as much as you can, because it's going to be even more important if we can purchase this on a more regular basis. Then yeah, as you can see, everything changing from black text to red text is adjusting. I'm excited for this. Rainbow crystals, you can now purchase 10 rather than 1, and they're only going to be 1,000 per. So it'll be 10,000 to buy 10 of them. I think it's per week or per day, I can't remember, but rather than 3,500 for one of them. That is a huge come up, and something that I'm always lacking in. I rely on farming IGC3 for my rainbow crystals, so the fact that I can pick up 10 on a regular basis is extremely exciting to me. That's going to help me upgrade my characters even faster. And there you go. Thank you for your continued support of Last Cloudia, the Last Cloudia management team. And as I said, I wanted to take a look at the Datamined info for the new gear that's coming with not only the event equipment, but also Captain Jabberwock did Datamine the new Arc Ether rewards and the paid gear. I'm not going to cover that. If you want to read what the paid gear does, feel free, pause the video, and it's right there. But y'all know by now how I feel about paid gear. Not my cup of tea. So we'll start at the Arc Ether reward for the new Arc coming. Obviously, it's as was expected. It is an armor piece, Gilbum's Holy Armor. Gives you 151 defense, 236 mind, recovery magic power plus 15%, recovery magic casting speed plus 15%. This is looking like one of the best armors for Ruto, right? It's built for him, gives him that extra mind, that huge mind stat, which helps with his S2 and makes his recovery magic bigger and faster, which it wasn't already fast enough, right? So that's a really, really nice. This Arc, everything about it is for Ruto. Then skipping over, you had your chance. All subject to change, right? But make a bet that it's going to stay pretty consistent. For the 4 Lords Attack event gear, first off is the Dunkel Helm. It's going to give 10 strength and 6 defense. This is likely going to increase when you upgrade it in the event alchemy tab. It looks like defense is going to be the stat that increases. I'm just making that assumption based on the fact that there's a question mark next to it, but we don't know if it'll go up by 1 or 2. But once you get it to plus 30, we can check out these traits, right? At the beginning of battle, give plus 15% physical attack damage buff. The duration is unknown, but Jabberwock estimates it's going to be between 10 and 40 seconds. Fantastic ability, right? We're seeing, like we saw with the flag that was introduced in Madine's event, giving that 20% damage increase, physical damage increase for 10 seconds at the start of battle. They're continuing this trend with these equipment here. Next is Technograph Luciana, 6 MP, 10 int. The intelligence is probably what's going to increase. And the trait at plus 30 at the beginning of battle grants plus 15% magic attack damage buff between 10 and 40 seconds. We'll see when it comes in game. Then we've got Burgonet of the Demented. 45 HP, 10 strength, and the trait at the beginning of the battle to all allies automatically activates critical that lasts for 30 seconds. That sounds very nice, in my opinion. Just giving that critical buff, allowing maybe for short burst events or any kind of stage where you're going to be taking down the boss quickly. You can take off auto critical, you can take off fast critical, and although that's only a 2 to 7 SC save, or 9 SC I think auto critical is, it's still more SC that you didn't have before. You can allocate it to maybe some raw damage boosters, so things I like to see, right? I think these equipment will be very usable for a lot of situations. And finally, we have the Destructor's Black Plate. 40 HP, 27 defense, and 16 mine. This does sound like an armor piece. And the trait at the start of battle automatically activates Shadow Wall, which I believe gives you damage reduction to light attacks for 40 seconds. So something that's going to be very situational. Only if you're taking on a tough light boss, this is probably going to be useful. Maybe because it only lasts for 40 seconds, and typically your fights against typically your fights against world bosses last a lot longer than 40 seconds. So we'll see if this one finds a use, but these three up here do sound very interesting, very nice. The fact that it just gives these damage buffs to the entire team, gives critical to the whole team, sounds very nice. I'm excited for it. Especially for event limited gear, very easy to get, very easy to upgrade. It's going to help out a lot of players, I feel. So again, huge shout out to Captain Jabberwock for finding this information for us. Alice, thank you. This is Ivos or Lauren for transferring that information onto the Buddha Gang LC info. Join the Buddha Gang Discord if you want to be up to date on everything. I've got a little My Hero Academia tab now because I have been enjoying this game a ton. I am going to start a little free to play journey on it, trying to get a double S, maybe even triple S character at some point down the road, and I'm going to make a whole video on my whole plan for that. So any pros in that area, if you are playing My Hero Academia, feel free to jump in, talk to me about it here. But for my last Cloudia peeps in the Buddha Gang, thank you all for coming to the video. I hope you're excited for everything that's coming because it does sound like it's going to be some good stuff. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. That's all I got for you this time. So, y'all know what we say. Work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.